All right, welcome back. Let me see if I can get one more in the books. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have. But, yeah, so when we last left off, I came so close to starting Stormveil Castle and then got distracted by exploring. I thought I could find, like, a hidden town underneath the rocks. Wasn't successful at that. Got the map section for, I guess it's called, like, East Limgrave. It seems... West Limgrave? I'm not sure. But I think it's time to start this proper. So again, I don't know how far I'll get. Not sure why my beacon is still here. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me erase that just so I'm not distracted. Okay, so as you can see, front gate's locked. Can't get in. In here should be an NBC.
Come over here, would you? You're tarnished, aren't you? I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle. It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands. Oh, try the opening right here. The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected. Yes, that's the spirit.
A little suspicious.
The kind of tarnish that I like. I pray for your success. The guards, you'll slip. Yeah, you're just... I pray.
So yeah, I don't exactly know his entire deal, but I do know he's not completely on your side. Probably from Bonfireside Chat from Duckfeed TV, you know, I think I heard from them or somewhere else, they talk about how he actually can be seen at different moments, like sort of screwing you over a little bit or hoping you get screwed over. I'm not exactly sure, but I think he's got a bit of a Patches vibe to what's going on. Curious if somebody tried to jump. All right. Now I know there's this here, but I think this just goes under to the other side, or maybe it is. Again, I always make it a point to try and explore every corner because most of the time it's not going to be the most useful stuff, but you never know. So I think before you even take his path, you can explore a bit. You know, I just went through that hole there. I guess I could have just walked back, but I think you can explore here a bit. Hitting lock on just because I'm not sure if and where there are enemies. Really thought there was more to this lower area. But maybe not. Hear the banners flapping in the wind. I keep thinking they're the wings of enemies flying down. So that's why I'm sort of turning a little bit sporadically. Again, I'm a big fan of the graphics, a big fan of the presentation. Let's give this guy's path a shot. I don't even know what he means. Like, you know, I don't recommend you go through the main... Like, you can't go through the main gate. I don't know if he could somehow open it for you. I mean, eventually I'm sure we can get it open, but I don't know if it's an actual choice. Obviously, the ramparts of this castle have seen battle from something. Maybe it's dragons. You know, I don't remember the intro or the lore. So there's definitely... Okay, this is why... Whoop, as I just jump right in like a maniac. This is why I was like, oh, you know... Because I knew there were birds nearby, so that's what I was waiting for. So that was a rather embarrassing opening. Let's give it another shot. Apologize for it. Sometimes you're going to get like a little sounds of swallowing. My voice tends to go very quickly when I talk, so I have to keep a glass of water nearby at all times. Even just like a couple of sentences, my voice, I can feel it start to get a little rough. Okay, let's try this again without me just walking off the edge like an idiot. Curious if it actually will come up this high. Who knew a bird could be so easily thwarted by a few feet of altitude, but... Nope. So these things, for me, never get easy. They have the razor blade talons sort of hooked to their feet. I think they do some bleed. Is that another one right there? I think they can sort of get around your shields a little bit. I don't know if I can get one on the way down. Probably not. So that was dumb luck a little bit, that I sort of got behind that second one without quite intending to. Maybe there is something going in a little aggressively, get the swings in, because with an Uchi Katana, it's a quicker sword, as I've talked about, so maybe it's enough to get a shot in before and hope you can block or dodge. Nope. Again, trying to lock on because I might not see them, but ooh, let's get the shield back. Sometimes rolling... So there's birds in the first Dark Souls, these sort of half crow, half monster things that sort of come at you with their talons, just like that does. And in that one, the trick is when they sort of really go in for a swooping attack at you, you roll through it. You roll toward them instead of rolling back. Your instinct is always roll back, side, whatever. In that particular case, rolling through it gets you what you're looking to do. So maybe that's something I've just never really consistently thought about. Like, what if I roll toward the birds when they come in for their talons? Do I end up behind it with enough time to take a shot? It seemed a little bit like that with that last one, but, you know, one is not enough to know if there's a pattern. This is a little reminiscent of the opening level of Demon Souls. You know, you're sort of scaling the sides of the ramparts. You know, that's not great. Staring there. It's a good rule of thumb. Always look up. Oh, I didn't think that would get me. You know, I talk a lot about that opening level of Demon Souls. That's sort of like my Super Mario Brothers 1-1. You know, Demon Souls 1-1. It's sort of that, like, classic level of opening level genius. Maybe I'll figure out how to run through that one at some point. I've got it available. I guess I would just need to figure out how do I mean, it's not brain surgery. I just need to figure out how to get it recorded. This guy's going to throw some fire, so there's a little bit more, so I'll let them clear it. Okay, I'm going to go for the right one first. Here we go. Get away from the exploding barrels. Now, St. Trina's arrow... St. Trina... Maybe that's the thing I've been picking up this whole time, those Trina's lilies. I thought they had something to do with sleep. Like sleep spells or something. So this person's lying. You don't want to jump. I mean, yes, it's required, but you'll obviously just fall to your death. Let me see if this is a shortcut or if I can open it. Nope, it's a shortcut. Again, so that's sort of like the classic, you know, Souls kind of level, the shortcuts that... I think sometimes people will put a message under a box because it might make you think something's there. Okay, so we're gonna have to do again. This is also something that happens in Demon Souls 1-1. You sort of have to make your way up, but then you sort of loop back. Now, if I jump, will I? No. Now, speaking of, there was I almost ran off a ledge. There was a hole in the hole in the wall that had an item in it, but was there something through the hole that was worth checking out? Let me just backtrack a little bit. So yeah, when I say like, oh, this is very reminiscent of Demon Souls 1-1, blah blah blah, that's fine. I'll take that every time. Hello, sir. Now, again, I may find myself getting distracted here from where I should have been going. You know, I had a path I was following in that room. Next thing you know, maybe this is just a loop back to where I was. Now, there's obviously a lot to this castle. There's like a sort of a hidden underground whole section that I'm never able to consistently find. One way or another, I'll run through it because I like to run through everything. But I believe it was one of those things where, like, I had to, like, did I see everything? Let me go look it up now that I think I'm done. And I think there's like an entire area that I missed. There's somebody in here, and I think it's a bit of a fight. What am I looking for? Got 2 flasks. That might not be enough, but let's give it a shot. Oh, I wasn't expecting a cutscene, but yeah, it's a little mini boss. Now, clearly, he didn't lock me in. I think the person who locked me in is that guy at the beginning. That's why I thought I heard some, like, laughter, like a tee. And that's why I think that guy is not entirely above board. Curved sword tiles might actually be useful here. Let's take a look. I mean, that's something I do a lot. That might be worth it. So I'm wondering if that key will actually let us unlock that door. Let me try it real quick. Maybe not, but... All right, this is going to be hopefully not too tricky. Did the other guy just fall off somewhere? Now, what I'm curious about is, can I jump there, or is it meant just to be a way back? Bet that'd be good in the mines where my bleed weapon doesn't do much. That's kind of what you want. You want a blunt weapon. And I never mess with blunt weapons except in Dark Souls 2. Because in Dark Souls 2, I find to be... I mean, a lot of people feel this way, and maybe I being too critical, but I really don't care for it. I've beaten it. I've never done all the DLC just because I was like, I don't care. Because... How do I get to there? So, I never cared for it because, like... It's like this weird engine. It's not the original Dark Souls 1 engine, which is fine. Maybe you come at it from the other side over there. But it's just... it feels off. Things don't move right. The movement feels off. It looks terrible, which I know shouldn't be that big of a deal, but somehow it manages to look, for my money, genuinely terrible at times. I really didn't like the levels very much, and the combat I really didn't care for, and it felt like the weapon selection was really skewed toward blunt weapons. And so, I think in that game I tended to use a mace a lot or something, but man, I really did not care for that game. So now the question is, like, where do I go next? Which is something I sometimes encountered in Demon Souls 1-1. I feel like I was making my way up, so going down might not be the right move. But I'm also wondering, did I miss something? Like, I remember I was getting thrown at, but I think I dealt with those guys, so... And I know it might be frustrating because I when I spot check these videos, I see like, oh, I missed a doorway. Like when I went in the back door of Stormveil Castle, when I got around it, I was like, I wonder if I can open this door. But then I missed that there was an entire other passageway when I was looking for that, the one I went down, and I never went back. So I do appreciate that you're probably watching this going, hey, it's right there. It's right in front of your face. And then I just walk right away from it. Well, I definitely haven't been here. That's the classic ambush. I should have been more careful going around the corner. See if I can get a backstab for a heal. Nope. So I wonder if this is the exterior that you can sort of go around to do the drop down. Or maybe not. Not that there's necessarily something here, but it is always good to... It's just something I find that happens in a lot of these levels. Like, you think it's clearly a path forward, and you miss that. This is going poorly. Sometimes with these types of areas, you can get them to get killed by the elevator or fall down a hole or use it to create some distance. It's not always easy, but it is sometimes doable. So I'm just going to make sure there's nothing more or something below. Because again, like, can I drop down there? And is that the rampart that'll get us to... I'm not a big, like, Metroidvania kind of player, so... this sort of fills that role as well. I don't know if an arterial leaf is worth it, but we'll take it. I think it makes me appreciate, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should be playing more of those since I like the exploration. But I don't know if that's the best. If I'm looking for, like, actual pure exploration, I don't know if that's quite... that might be more puzzle solving than the itch of exploration I'm looking to scratch. Which, nothing wrong with that. And I think that's part of why, like, I don't always get into, like, I feel like I should be playing more Breath of the Wild, and I don't. I'm wondering if that's why. Nope. Needed to jump. It's because there's the open world exploration, but then it also turns into just puzzle solving, which isn't a bad thing at all. I feel like, is there an enemy? Nice. Wonder if I've gotten enough souls to bump a level up. Not quite. I wonder if I have any golden runes to pour into this. Whoops. I do. So let's see if this gets me over the hump. Probably not. Okay. I'll do it anyway since I've already done it. Getting close, maybe? Let's take a look. All right. Is this 38 or 39? Let's find out. All right, getting there. Okay, before I go that way, I'm going to just double check and see what this doorway... This might be... At some point, this is going to start being shortcuts from A to B to C that we're going to unlock. I don't know, quote unquote, what the right way to go is, but obviously, in some degree, it's both, but I'm just going to stick with this direction for now. Just make sure there's only one exit. Okay, I believe so. So let's go through. curious if this will actually work. And I really like the addition of stealth in this. I just don't know exactly how stealth the stealth is. It's often good to break those boxes and stuff like that, because sometimes you can find that there's like a gap in the wall or something, sometimes hidden. So, all right, we're about to get into it a little bit. This is, again, part of why I love the exploration in these games. You know, you're going to get up here. It seems innocuous, just a thing, but you can start seeing, like, which way do you want to go first, you know? Because once you go here, you can jump across and you can start making your way. And then maybe there's nothing here, but you never know. Because that looks like it'll be something. Trying to roll through it instead seems to have some success. I mean, again, to me, it's just insane. Like, here you have this massive open world. We've already sort of established that it's really densely populated. Exploring is worth the effort, et cetera, et cetera. But then you get into one of these levels and, you know, it's intricate. There's a lot going on. Like, I can hop that ledge and get over there, but I'm still not done exploring the rooftops. And, you know, it just feels like they put something in every inch of like, is it worth it to jump up here? Because you can. Doesn't necessarily look like it in this particular case, but, you know, like, let me go around here and see if there's anything over there, and then make my way back and see if I can go up that broken ramp of a stone to get to the higher level. Now, I will say the one thing that Demon Souls, the opening level, has is because it sort of breaks it into chunks. I found it obviously a lot more navigable. So this might just be a way to get down there to pick that fight. I'm not looking to do that quite yet. So on some level, I will say, like, I'm not surprised that I missed an entire lower area of this game, because it's so densely twisty and turny that I've overwhelmed, not in like an emotional sense, but there's just a lot to it. And so you think you're doing your best to cover it all, and then so I was about to drop down, but it's a good thing I looked off to the side, because there's more to this. I'm going to dispatch him quickly because there's a crossbowman over there. Dispatch him quickly just so I can deal with... Oh, there's two of them. Again, it keeps going up. Again, I almost missed this because I was like, oh, I feel like I've seen everything. Let me just drop off the ledge and call the rooftops done. See what that does. I'm constantly curious, like, is one of these like a good bleeding? Jump attacks. Okay, that's not something I do very often, but there you go. I wonder if somebody thought, like, yeah, I wonder if we can shortcut back down, or does it just go off the wrong? Okay. What happens if I go this way? Okay. So, you know, nothing to be gained by doing that, but let's so if it's just those two, I think what I need to do here is I need to stealth. I need to stealth the weaker guy so that I'm left just dealing with the tougher guy. So I'm going to pop him hopefully in one. Thought I was rolled too early. See if I can get a backstab in. Maybe I'll see if I can unsheath him a little bit. Oop, broke my... Psst. I didn't know if kiting, you know, popping one with the bow and arrow would have helped there. I think it would have drawn them both, and I needed to separate them. This feels like we're getting... This is sort of the path you would take if you came up through the starting gate. At some point, you can get a talisman that also replenishes your FP when you counter, and then you're off to the races. You can just do general exploration as much as you need, because you never run out. Again, I was saying sometimes it's good to break stuff, because like hidden behind it are gaps in the walls and stuff. Now, honestly, I have no idea if I'm being thorough or not. I don't know which parts I've seen, which parts I haven't seen, where I am in relation to where I started. Like, I'm just totally turned around and pulling at threads as I come across them. All right. Well, that guy's definitely got a giant axe. Let me see if I can deal with him first. Oh, he's down? All right. Yeah, that's definitely the path from the castle gate, the opening. So it looks like I've... Or did he kill these guys? And I don't get the lore to explain why. Nope. So here's the problem. Good luck getting back here. I'm not 100% sure how I got here in the first place. So I'm not 100% sure how I'd come back here to get my souls. But let's make that a task for another time. Maybe we tackle that next time. All right, thanks a lot.